Jai Hind students, welcome to the physics class. I hope all of you are fine at your home. We were discussing about the variation of resistance. How does the resistance? It depends on various factors. So today we are going to do the variation of resistance with temperature. If temperature is changed, then how this temperature change will affect the resistance. We have done this expression that resistance, it is given by resistance of a conductor, it is given by ml divided by n e square a t. And what is the m? M is the mass of the current carrier. And what is the L? L is the length of the conductor. If I am saying this is the conductor, then its length, this is the L. And what is the A? A is its area of cross section, and E is the charge on the electron. And what is N here? N here is the number density of current carriers. Number density means how many current carriers are present per unit volume. So here N it represents the number density and M is here the mass of the current carrier. In case of metal, mass is current carrier is the free electron. So let us discuss how does the resistance of a conductor varies. So first of all, if I am talking about the metals, for metals, this resistance is inversely proportional to T. What is here? Here T is relaxation time. Relaxation time. Average relaxation time. So now if we increase the temperature, what will happen? For a metal, the number density, it remains almost constant. That is, number density, it almost remains constant. Number density, it almost remains constant. But thermal speed of current carriers, it increase. With increase in the thermal speed, the number of collisions, they also increase. And when number of collisions will increase, definitely relaxation time, it will decrease. And when relaxation time will decrease, so definitely resistance, it will increase. So I am repeating again, as far as metals are concerned, the number density, it is almost independent of the temperature. And when temperature is increased, what happens? The atoms or ions present in the metal, they start vibrating with larger amplitude. And also the thermal speed of the free electron, it will also increase. And with increase in the thermal speed, what will happen in that case? Number of collisions will increase, and more is the number of collisions, the average relaxation time will decrease. And with decrease in average relaxation time, the resistance, it will increase. Now how much resistance it increases? So let us discuss. Let us say RT is the resistance at temperature T, and R0, this is the resistance at reference. You can take some reference temperature. This reference temperature, it is less than the T, right? Some reference temperature T0, right? Some reference temperature T0. It is found that RT, it equals to R naught multiplied by 1 plus T minus T naught. What is alpha here? Where alpha is temperature coefficient of resistance. Temperature coefficient of resistance. Temperature coefficient of resistance. Right? Where alpha is the temperature coefficient of resistance. And you can see if alpha is positive, with increase in temperature, RT is increasing. So let us discuss about the alpha. Alpha is a temperature coefficient of resistance. Now, this temperature coefficient of resistance, how I can write this? RT, it equals to, let's open the bracket, R naught plus R naught alpha T minus T naught. What will be alpha? RT minus R naught divided by this R naught T minus T naught. So here is the alpha. So how can you define the alpha? Temperature coefficient of resistance is defined as increase in resistance per unit original resistance per unit change in temperature. So alpha, that is the temperature coefficient of resistance, is defined as increase in resistance per unit original resistance per unit increase in temperature. Now can you tell me what is its SI unit? SI unit. So let me tell the SI unit of alpha, how you can calculate. RT, it is a resistance, so this is ohm, and R naught, again it is ohm, and change in temperature it is Kelvin, it's cancelled, so its SI unit is per Kelvin. So its SI unit is per Kelvin. So what does it mean? It means that whenever temperature will be increased, resistance will increase in case of the metals. So now for metals alpha is positive, so that when temperature is increased, so what will happen? In this case, with increase in temperature, the resistance, it will also increase. Now let us discuss alloys and semiconductors. For alloys, alpha is, second point is, for alloys, alpha is positive but very small. Alpha is positive but very small. What does it mean? Here RT, it is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T minus T naught. Now if alpha is very small, if you can neglect the alpha, what will happen? You can neglect this term. So we can say that RT, it equals to the R0. So what does it mean? For alloys, alpha is positive but very small. So this is the reason why alloys are used in making standard resistors. Because whatever the resistors we use in our lab, they are made up of the alloy. Why they are made up of alloys? Sometimes what happens, there may increase in, when we are doing the experiment, there is increase in temperature, and when there is increase in temperature, we know that resistance will also increase. But if that resistance is made up of alloy, in that case what will happen? Its resistance will not increase considerably. If a resistor is made up of metal, what will happen? Let us say with increase in temperature due to heating effect, etc., due to the change in physical temperature, physical conditions, if there is increase in temperature, in that case what will happen? There you will find that there is increase in resistance. But if it is made up of alloy, alpha is very small, so that increase in resistance, it can be neglected. So that's why standard resistors, they are made up of the alloys. Now for semiconductors or insulators, what is the problem with the semiconductors or insulators? The problem with the semiconductors or insulator is that in case of semiconductors, the current carriers are very less in number, and for insulator they are very less in number, or there are no current carriers. When we increase the temperature, what will happen? With increase in temperature, N increases. If I increase the temperature, the number of current carriers will increase, and when number of current carriers will increase, what will happen? Number density increase, and relaxation time, it almost remains same, because in a semiconductor what happens? The space, the number of collisions, they were earlier less. What is the problem is that they do not have the current carriers, and when we are increasing the temperature, the number density increases, but the average relaxation time, it almost remains the same. And when N will increase, so we can say R, it will decrease. So in case of semiconductors or insulators, the resistance, it decreases with temperature. So if I say this is the resistance, and for this is temperature, what is the graph? Graph is like this. The resistance is decreasing with temperature. And what about for the alloys? If I want to make the graph for the alloys, you will find that this is R and this is T. Let us say the graph is like this. Increase in temperature is very less. It is very less. So this is the variation of resistance with temperature. Now let us do how does resistivity, it varies with temperature. So let us discuss how does the resistivity, it varies with temperature. Variation of resistivity with temperature. Variation of resistivity with temperature. Variation of resistivity with temperature. How does the resistivity, it varies with temperature? Again, all of us know that I have just done resistance is equal to ml divided by ne square a t, right? ml ne square a t. And what is the resistance? Resistance, it is rho L by A, it equal to ml n e square a t. L by A, it could be cancelled. So what we got? We got it m upon n e square t. So what we can say? resistivity, it again depend on the n is the number density, and it again depend on the average relaxation time. So how does the resistivity, it changes with the temperature? Now let us talk about the metals first. How does it happens with the metals? Now in case of the metals, resistivity at a temperature T, it is given by rho T equals to rho naught 1 plus alpha T minus T naught. What is the rho T? Rho T, this is the resistivity of material of conductor at temperature T. And what is rho naught? Resistivity of material of conductor at reference temperature T naught. This T, it is usually greater than T naught, but T naught, it is usually smaller than the T. And what is alpha? Temperature coefficient of resistivity. Temperature coefficient of resistivity. It is the temperature coefficient of resistivity. So now let me tell you why, on the basis of this relation, why the resistivity of metals, it increase with the temperature. Now for metals, if I increase T, temperature is represented by capital T and average relaxation time is represented by small t. When temperature increases, number density, it almost remains constant. It is almost constant, but there is very little increase in the number density, but that can be neglected. It almost remain constant, and what will happen? Number of collisions increases due to increase in thermal speed of free electrons. Here current carriers are free electrons, and amplitude of, you can say, vibration of atoms, ions present in conductor. I am telling you how this present in conductor. And when number of collisions will increase, so average relaxation time, it will decrease. And when average relaxation time will decrease, what will happen? Resistivity will increase, right? And why there is a term of amplitude of vibration of atoms or ion? If I take any solid, let us say this is a solid, let us say these are the atoms or ion present in the conductor. They are not at rest, but they are not changing their position. So what will happen? They will keep on vibrating about the mean position. If temperature is increased, what will happen? Amplitude, it becomes like this. And if temperature is decreased, their amplitude, it becomes like this. Alright? So in this way, the resistivity, it increases. Now in your syllabus, what you are having? You are having how does the resistivity of copper changes with temperature. So let me explain you how does the resistivity of the copper it changes. Let us say on y-axis I am having resistivity and along time axis I am having temperature. So it is like this, right? It will follow this path. You can say that here with the increase in temperature the resistivity is also increasing, and this is for the copper. Now what about for the alloys? If I talk about the alloys, what is for the alloys? What is for the alloys? For alloys, alpha is positive but very small. So resistivity it almost remains constant. And if I talk about semiconductors, what happens for semiconductors? And what is the graph? Graph is like this. Let us say here I am representing temperature and here I am representing resistivity. It is remaining like this. So very small increase. And for semiconductors, alpha is negative, so resistivity decreases with increase in temperature. And what is the physics behind this? The physics behind this is that when you increase the temperature, number density also increases. And we know that the resistivity formula is M upon में N E square T. So what happens in this case? When N increases, rho will decrease. So resistivity decreases with increase in temperature. This average relaxation time, it almost remains the same. And what is for the semiconductor? And for semiconductor I have discussed. And what is for insulators? For insulators also alpha is negative. So resistivity will decrease when temperature will increase. And what is the graph for this? The graph is here resistivity, temperature, it follows like this. So this was about how does the resistivity, it varies with the temperature. Now let's do questions based on this. How does the resistivity, it varies with the temperature. From NCERT, an electric toaster, there is an electric toaster which uses nichrome as a heating element. There is an electric toaster which is using nichrome as a heating element. It says that when a negligibly small current passes through it, resistance at room temperature is found to be 75.3 ohm. So what does it mean? The resistance at room temperature. And how much room temperature is given? It is given to be 27 degrees Celsius, and this resistance is 75.3 ohm. And again it says, if toaster is connected to a voltage of 230 volt and current settles in few seconds and the current steady value becomes 2.68 ampere. What it says that if this toaster is connected to 230 volt supply and current becomes 2.68 ampere, what is the steady temperature of the nichrome element? What it says, at what temperature the nichrome element attains, and we are given that temperature coefficient of resistance is nichrome is 1.70 10 to the power -4 per degree Celsius, right? So this is given to us. Now we have to calculate this. So let us do this question. Now solution is R naught, it is given to be 75.3 ohm and T naught is 27 degrees Celsius. Now question is, what is RT? RT, I am given V and I. From V and I can find RT. V is 230 and T is 2.68. If you will find out, it will be 85.8 ohm. I can calculate that this is 85.8 ohm. Now my target is to calculate the T, and I know that RT, it is equal to R naught multiplied by 1 plus alpha T minus T naught. And what is RT? It is 85.8. And what is R naught? R naught is 75.3. 1 plus alpha is 1.7 into 10 to the power -4. And what is T here? I have to calculate. And what is the T naught? T naught, it is equal to the 27 degree. Now I think you can do the calculations. So let me do this. So here 85.8 minus 75.3. When you open this, you will be 75.3 here, and it will be, what will be left here, 75.3 multiplied 1.7 into 10 to the power -4 T minus 27. So from here you can calculate T minus 27. If you do this, this is 5, again 10.5 divided by 75.3 multiplied 1.7 into 10 to the power -4. I think now you can do these calculations, and if you will solve this, how much it will come? It will come 820 degrees Celsius. So how much will be the T? 820 degrees Celsius plus 27. Answer is 847 degrees Celsius. So in this way we can calculate this, that is, what is the, at what temperature current becomes 2.6 ampere when connected to a voltage supply of 230 volt. Let us do next numerical from the NCERT. Now, what is asked in the next numerical? Let's move to the next numerical from the NCERT. What is the question? The resistance of platinum wire of a platinum resistor thermometer at ice point is 5 ohm. What is the meaning that it is the ice point? Ice point means 0 degrees Celsius, and its resistance is given to be the 5 ohm. And what it says that at steam point means 100 degrees Celsius, its resistance is 5.23 ohm. Again it says, when thermometer is inserted in a hot bath, let us say this is a hot bath, if we insert the thermometer in the hot bath, its resistance, it is 5.795 ohm. I have to calculate the temperature at which its resistance it becomes like this. So let's discuss this. Now here in this case, from this I think I can calculate the alpha. What is alpha? RT, it equals to R naught multiplied by 1 plus alpha T minus T naught. So here RT, it is 5.23, and what is R0? 5. 1 plus alpha I have to calculate, and what is T? 100, and what is T0? 0 degree Celsius. So I think 5.23 equals to, let's open the bracket, 5, and when you do multiply 5, alpha 100 minus 0, it is 100. So 5.23 minus 5, alpha it equals to 5 multiplied by the 100. Now you can find out the value of alpha here, and if you take it out the value of the alpha, this alpha, you can find out the alpha from here. Now what you are given, I have to find the at what temperature resistance becomes 5.795. Again, let us say at T dash temperature, the resistance RT dash is 5.795 ohm. So what's the formula you will use? RT dash, RT I have used, it will be R naught 1 plus alpha T dash minus T0. Alpha is given, T dash I have to calculate, and RT dash is given. So from here I can calculate the T dash. So in this way we can solve the questions. Now there is a very simple relation. Let's do that. The relation between current density and sigma. Before that, let me define two terms. One is conductance. It is represented by G. The reciprocal of resistance is called the conductance. That is G, it equals to 1 by R. It is a scalar quantity. And what is its SI unit? Its SI unit is per ohm, and it can be written as MHO. If you take it in reverse order, it will be MHO. And what is conductivity? It is represented by sigma. It is the reciprocal of resistivity. The reciprocal of resistivity is the conductivity. Again, it is a scalar quantity, and the unit of resistivity is ohm meter. So its unit will be per ohm per meter, right? Or it can be MHO per meter. Now, relation between current density and sigma. How current density and conductivity are related to one another. So let us discuss that. It's very simple. What is current density? Current per unit area. I think you know I is equal to NEA drift velocity. Drift velocity is EE upon M multiplied by average relaxation time, and current density you also know I over A, and formula of resistivity is M NE square T. So these three formulas we have discussed. So what is I here? NE A drift velocity by A will cancel, NEA VD. Now I can say that what is VD? E by M multiplied by T. So what is this equal to? N E square E upon M multiplied by the T. Now here you know what is this? I can write this as J, it is equal to E upon M divided by N E square T. What is M E square T? This is rho, resistivity, and reciprocal of resistivity is 1 by rho is sigma, so this is sigma, because sigma is equal to 1 by rho. So this is the relation between electric field, conductivity, and the current density, right? So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.